little people, big people, all people. This is another episode of Buffed Up Sports, the only podcast that talks Detroit sports, the WNBA, and boxing. So thank you for clicking on this episode. But first, few ground rules. If you want to go on the Buffed Up Sports website, go to buffedupsports.com. There, you will find the social media platforms that I'm on, and you will find the platforms that Buffed Up Sports is on, such as the podcasting platforms like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Or if you like the video aspect, you can check out the YouTube channel as well. So go to buffedupsports.com for those things, as well as if you want to send, a little cha-ching, it's ways that you can help me out and financially support the show. So go to buffedupsports.com for that. Again, thank you for clicking on this episode. Please subscribe. So subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Apple, subscribe on Spotify, subscribe on wherever you listen to the podcast on. Please subscribe. With that being said, again, thanks y'all. Hope you enjoy this one. Let's get on with the show. I'm still a Lions fan. That's how I'm going to start off the episode. I'm still a Lions fan. As you can see it there. See it there. See it there. I'm still a Lions fan. Don't get it twisted. It's a lot of things that's entertaining, interesting to talk about this week on another episode of Buffed Up Sports. But when I think about the Lions, I'm forcing that energy that I always give y'all. I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard right now, man. It's hard. I'm not happy. Not happy. But trust me, we're going to talk some Lions at the end of the episode. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. So please watch until the end. But to get my mind off things a little bit till we get to that, Lions portion of the show. Let's talk let's talk about some other things. I'm going to start off with the Red Wings, making short and sweet with them. What's up with the Red Wings? Why are they so streaky? The Red Wings go on like a 3-game winning streak, then they'll lose 3 straight. After 2025 started, I thought, okay, Red Wings, we own something. We got something going. And now it seems to be like, maybe we not. They're so close for the playoffs, yes, so far. And I know they're a few points back from the Wild, but they're in it because the whole conference is in it. So, do I think the Red Wings are going to make the playoffs? Nah. Do I think they could give it a fair shot, though? Absolutely. Absolutely, they could do it. Absolutely, they could do it. I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to get it together. I'm trying. Now, all right, let's switch gears. Tigers. Let's talk some Detroit Tigers. Tigers making some moves. They re-signed Scooble. So the question is, are you concerned with the Tigers that they didn't reach a long-term deal with Scooble? My honest answer, yes. Do I think Scooble wants to stay in Detroit? Yes. Do I think he wants to stay long-term in Detroit? Yes. But is he going to do it for the right price? Absolutely. I mean, money talks. We all know that. So my thing with Scooble is, yes, I think he wants to stay. Yes, I think he wants to stay long-term. But them only signing a 1-year deal does concern me because it's like, why couldn't you just get the long-term deal done this offseason? It's basically like you're just avoiding the inevitable at this point. Because if you only get a 1-year done deal this year, what's going to be? The man is coming off a Cy Young pitching Triple Crown season, and we couldn't get him that long-term extension. That bothers me because what else will it take for him to earn the money that he rightfully deserves? I don't like it when a man has to beg for something that's his, and I feel like that's what Scooble is thinking to himself right now. Because I know I'm the same. I don't want to have to beg for something that's mine. And Scooble's probably begging for money that he rightfully deserves. And he like, you know what? I ain't gonna beg. He not gonna be like the Temptations. You know they said ain't too proud to beg. He gonna be like, no, y'all need me more than I need y'all. I'll go to another team and get my money and win there. Because I'm the type of player that can lead a team to a playoff run because he just showed what he could do with a lifeless Tigers this past season, especially in the postseason, minus that grand slam. The point is, the Tigers need him more than he needs them, you know? So, yes, it concerns me. Yes, they got to get that long-term deal done. They got to find a way off next offseason or even sometime, they just got to make it happen. But why does it always seem like the Tigers are scared to spend money? I don't know if it's, for a lack of terms, PTSD. I mean, we signed a lot of guys to long-term deals like your Verlanders, your Cabreras, Prince Fielders. Verlander was pretty decent majority, but we all know what happened with Mickey. That second half of that contract, Prince Fielder didn't last here long. But then you had guys like Max Scherzer we let walk. Like, there's so many guys that have walked with the Tigers that it doesn't make sense in recent memories. So I'm like, why are they so scared to spend money? I feel like now that you've made the playoffs and was a grand slam away from the ALCS, you got to spend some money now. You're one of those. Don't let it make it seem like last season was a fluke. Make it seem like, okay, we the Lions. We ready, or we the Tigers. We ready to compete. So go compete. Spend that money to compete. You're a buyer now. You're not selling players and trades. Like Jack Flattery, we keep him? Come on, man. So I do wish the Tigers would spend their money more because something has to give as far as what's going on with the team right now. Talk about them ladies. So, first of all, we got the new 3-on-3 league that just started with the WNBA players. Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart, they started their own 3-on-3 basketball league for the WNBA players as an alternative to avoid them going overseas, which I think is a very great idea. The league has got a lot of investors. The WNBA better watch out because a lot of players might make that flip full time if they keep messing around with this league. But so have y'all been watching? The league is called Unrivaled. So have y'all been watching? I think they play games on Fridays, Saturdays, and Mondays, I want to say. Don't quote me on that Monday part, but I mean, we're only going into the second week of the season. I caught a little bit of the first week. Didn't get to watch as much as I wanted to, but I'm glad as a fan of the WNBA. In the offseason, I got some women's basketball to watch in a pro sense of terms. Because, of course, we got the college women's basketball. But, no, we get to watch some pros. I mean, every sport has kind of tried that offseason semi-pro league. You got the big three for basketball. You got the and then summer league, if you will. But then you got the UFL for football. You have Unrivaled for the WNBA now. So, yeah, just curious to know, if y'all could drop it in the comments what y'all been thinking about Unrivaled. Free agency is here. Negotiations are going on. Deals are expected to be signed starting on February 2nd. Haven't had any big news to be dropped yet. However, it has been determined that Brittany Griner is going to enter free agency. Sounds like she's possibly leaving the Phoenix Mercury after about a decade out there. That would be interesting. Jewel Lloyd still wants to be traded from the Storm. And so there's a rumor going on that the Aces have the best chance of not only landing Brittany Griner, but Brittany Griner and Jewel Lloyd. And this is RJ's thoughts on that one, right? I kind of talked about it a little bit on Twitter, but I want to talk about it here as well. So, for anybody who knows me, I've been saying BG, as in Brittany Griner, BG to the Aces for a couple seasons now. Like, I've been, advocating for that. Especially because the Aces, in my opinion, need a center. Liz Cambage folded during her time there in the postseason. And then right after, you had Kia Stokes, Kia Stokes is not Brittany Griner. Let's just put it like that. So, I've been advocating for Brittany Griner to get to the Aces because I'm like, man, if they get her, it's over. So now that's the first thing. I would love Brittany Griner to play for the Aces. Another reason why I said Brittany Griner to the Aces because we missed out on seeing the powerhouse of Candace Parker and A'ja Wilson. We only got a few games out of them before Candace Parker got hurt, missed the rest of the season due to surgery, and it ended up having to retire. So, we missed out on that. We had a great opportunity there that we didn't get. So, do I want to see Brittany Griner with the Aces? Yes. Now, let's bring it to Jewell Loyd. Let's bring her into the equation. This is the tricky part about Jewell Loyd. If you bring in Jewell Loyd, one of the three guards on the Aces is leaving. You're either losing Chelsea Gray, which I don't recommend. You're losing Jackie Young, or you're using Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum is probably the odd woman out in this situation. However, if you get all these players, there's only one ball, and then somebody's going to the bench. Now you're starting to have too many players on the bench. Mind you, all of these ladies are all-stars. So that's not necessarily a good problem to have. Now, let's say the scenario is you get both Jewell Loyd and Brittany Griner. I guarantee you somebody's leaving at this point. So that's something the Aces want to keep in mind. Now, again, let's say, back to keeping the scenario going. If you get Jewell Loyd and Brittany Griner, we all know I'm an Aces fan. That's my favorite WNBA team. I'm an A'ja Wilson fan, but an Aces fan, right? So, you get Brittany Griner and Jewell Loyd this offseason. As an Aces fan, I would love it. Like I said, we missed out on seeing Candace and A'ja for a full season. So, hey, this makes it 2 times better. The Aces will run the league. We will be back with the title in our hands. That will be, our 3rd title in 4 years. I'm guaranteeing it now if that happens, right? But on the flip side, as a fan of the WNBA, this is almost like LeBron, Wade, Bosh, almost like KD, Curry, Warriors. Like, this is not what you want as a fan of the WNBA, because out of the other now 12 teams, you're just playing for second place almost at that point off rip. So, again, if you're an Aces fan, you love it. If you're not, you don't love it. If it's just Brittany Griner, I'm good with that. If it's just Brittany Griner going to the Aces. If it's just Jewell Loyd, as a WNBA fan, I'm okay with it. But as an Aces fan, I'm not, because I know if Jewell Loyd comes, one of those guards are leaving. Because, again, it's too many guards now. If it's both, then it's just trouble flat out for the rest of the league at that point. Like, well, hey, what's the new team? The Valkyries? Welcome to the league. Imagine that first game against the Aces if they were to get Brittany Griner and Jewell Loyd. So that's something you're dealing with. Next thing I want to talk about, boxing. Let me tell y'all about some boxing. First of all, I want to talk about Naoya Inoue. That dude, at the time of my recording, I got up. They said he was fighting around 7:30. I got up at 7:30. But why by the time I woke up, the fight had ended an hour before I got up? So I got up for no reason this morning, thinking I'm about to watch Inoue, because if you know nothing else about a Naoya Inoue fight, it'd be early as heck, but it'd be so entertaining you don't even think about falling asleep, right? Kid you not. Every time Inoue fights, I get up early, and we all know his fights are always 6, 7 in the morning. And I get up with ease because, again, he's going to keep you up because he's that entertaining. But why would y'all lie to me about the ring walk time? They said ring walk is approximately 7:30. I understand. That's not exact. But doggone, if it was 7, I'd be like, that's on me. If it was 8, hey, that's on me. But the fight was over by like 6:30, by 6:30 at least, because again, when I woke up at 7:30, it was posted a whole hour ago that he had won by knockout. Because yes, he did win. And now this is the thing with Inoue. Streets is saying he coming to Vegas for his next fight. Let me tell you, if Inoue comes to Vegas, those ticket prices are going to be stupid high, because the man does not fight in America, but all the real boxing fans in America are going to want to see him, rightfully so, including me. Do I probably have the money to make that Vegas trip? No, unless I get more subscribers. So y'all better subscribe to get me to that y'all know what I'm trying to say, where I can get the money to go to Vegas, okay? So boom, that's how we gonna do that. Woo, woo, right? But yeah, he's gonna fight in Vegas next. I would love to go see Inoue. As much as I get up early in the morning to watch his fights that are broadcast in Japan, I would love to go to Vegas and get a 3-hour cushion time to watch this fight, you know? So can we make that happen? Can y'all help me get some subscribers so I can go see my boy Inoue in the ring, live, in action? Maybe I get a press pass to cover it. Who knows? Because we're going to talk about press passes in a second. Don't worry. Next thing I want to talk about is Tyson Fury really retired? We all know Tyson Fury is coming off back-to-back losses for the first time in his career that he's even taken a loss, but he took back-to-back losses. So he has 2 defeats in his career now, and he's saying he's retiring. Now, I said before the fight, Tyson Fury, well, before the fight against Usyk, when he lost both fights to him, but I said Tyson Fury should retire, right? My thing with that is, I said if he does fight one more time, he should fight Anthony Joshua. But I also did say if he's not going to fight Anthony Joshua, go ahead, retire. So I'm okay with him retiring, honestly. Yeah, we didn't get the big super fight that the people in England would have showed out and showed up for. To see Joshua versus Fury, you know, both countrymen going at it, would have been a big thing. But if Fury's heart not in it no more, because I'm telling y'all, the last 2 fights, like, he showed he could be beat. And Joshua's an interesting fella. When he's on, he's on. But when he's off, he's off. So if he's on against Fury, the way Fury's been fighting recently, I don't think Fury, he wins. So I'm good with Fury retiring. I guess the question really is, though, is he really retired? Because Fury's probably pulled this I'm retired trick about 5 times now. And a lot of times I didn't even flinch. I didn't do he's retired? Oh, that's a good career. Congrats. Future Hall of Fame. I didn't do all that because it's almost as bad as when Tom Brady retired the first time. Like, we know you coming back. So even Michael Jordan, you coming back. So Tyson Fury, I don't think he really retired. Another thing I want to know, do y'all really think is going to happen? Do you think that Keith Thurman and Brock Jarvis fight will really happen? Nope. Keith Thurman ain't fought in 3 years. If he does think he about to get in the ring, I promise you he's losing. You don't just go, boxing is not the sport where you could just go 3 years without fighting and then boom, you back at it. Only the greats of greats have done that. And when I think of greats of greats, there's only 2 names that come to mind. Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. Them the only ones I know who can take a long layoff like that and come back and be, what they left. And even then, they ain't come back what they left, but they was like, you know what I'm saying? Though, like Keith Thurman has been off for 3 years. And I remember before his last fight, he had took about a year or 2 off. And when he came back, I didn't think he looked the greatest, right? So if he didn't look that sharp like prime Keith Thurman then, why would I think he's going to be great 3 years after that? Keith Thurman is not going to be that same Keith Thurman. I'm telling y'all that right now. I've been saying it for years. And before anybody gets on me, check this part out, because you probably don't even know this. Keith Thurman in his prime was probably my favorite boxer to watch. Real talk. Keith Thurman, anytime it was a Keith Thurman fight night, you best to believe I was locked in. When he fought Sean Porter, I was rooting for Keith Thurman. Like, Keith Thurman was my guy, but I'm also a realist. Keith Thurman ain't been that guy in almost 10 years now, y'all. 5 years at least. So that fight don't need to happen. I want Keith Thurman to retire. Another person I want to see retire, Errol Spence. What do you think it will take for Errol Spence to retire? They just announced that Errol Spence versus Fundora. That fight's off. But if you're Errol Spence, what would you do at this point? What would it take for you to retire? I mean, let's break it down like this. You've had 3 fights in the last 5 years. That last fight, you got the brakes beat off you. Bad. Everybody was talking about you. They was saying you didn't even look right. They look like something. You look like something was off with you type deal. So that's what happened to you last time you was in the ring. You've had eye surgery. You've been in multiple car accidents. One of them that left you in the ICU. What will it take for you to retire? You have a family, man. You have kids. You did your dang thing. You made it to the top. You won multiple belts in your division. You beat some of the best of your time. And I give you credit, you got in the ring with some of the best of your time. You got in the ring with the Ugas. You got in the ring with the Danny Garcias. You got in the ring with the Sean Porters. You took a beating like never before, but hey, you manned up and got in the ring with Terrence Crawford. Now, I'll never take that away from you, that you at least got in the ring with him. But at the end of the day, a man got to know when it's time to let it go. And Errol Spence, my brother, I'm praying that you realize you need to go be a family man. Go enjoy Sundays watching the Dallas Cowboys, your favorite football team, because I do not want to see you on Saturday nights in the ring anymore. Please don't do it. I'm begging you. In fact, Errol Spence thought he was going to come and fight this year. The man ain't fought since 2023 when he got whooped by Crawford again. He's had 3 fights in the last 5 years. He ain't fought in a year and a half. Don't get back in the ring, Spence. Hey, when he fought Crawford, I told everybody then, I said Crawford gonna give it. Now hold on, time out. Give me a 30. I didn't think Crawford was gonna beat him that bad. But I definitely said Crawford was gonna win because Spence doesn't stay in the ring enough. And it backfired. Everybody's like, oh no, he all right. No, you gotta, I don't care who you is. I'm telling you, that ring rust is real. You gotta stay in there. So that was my problem with Spence. Spence needs to let it go. Now, next thing I want to talk about with boxing. We got the Claressa Shields versus Danielle Perkins for the belt. February 2nd coming up. Yours truly, your boy will be in the building. It's official. Buffed Up Sports is going to be on site, on location, in the house, in the building, in the place to be. I'm in the FLINT, MC Bree. Give you a shout out, my guy. Rest in peace. But yes, I'm going to be at the fight. I don't need to give predictions. We all know who I think going to win. You know who you know going to win. Claressa Shields is the GOAT. At this point, Claressa, get this business taken care of so that we can see that Alicia Baumgartner fight. Or hey, do a Jake Paul, Mike Tyson move. Fight Layla Ali. Get that Netflix deal.
Hey, it's your girl Claressa the GOAT Shields, and I'm here with Buffed Up Sports.
I didn't think I would say this. Had you asked me this at the beginning of the season, I would have said you're lying. Had you told me the Pistons, as of late January, will be the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, I would have looked at you like a fool and probably slapped you like you was one too. Because there was no way I was going to think my Pistons, who couldn't win 20 games last year, was going to be a 6th seed team in late January. Halfway through the more than halfway through the season. They're a 6th seed. Had you told me Cade Cunningham was going to play on an all-star level, I would have went with that. But you would have told me the 6th seed? Dude. I mean, they got a legit shot at making the postseason compared to last year when we didn't even win 20 games. So this is my thing with the Pistons. People are trying to tell me, oh, now you want to be a Pistons fan? I thought you gave up on them. Let's pump the brakes. When it comes to the Pistons, I don't stay with them. Stay with them through thick and thin. There's no secret. The Pistons, believe it or not, as much as I seem to love the Lions right now, the Pistons was the first team I ever fell in love with. Basketball is the first sport I ever fell in love with. Let's get that clear. The first pro sporting event I went to was a Pistons game. So let's clear that up. First pro athlete I ever met was a Pistons player. The great Chauncey Billups. Let's get that all taken care of now. In fact, y'all got me messed up. Put on my Pistons buffs. Now, this is my thing with the Pistons. We all know what happened in these last few years. Again, the Pistons ain't made the Eastern Conference Finals since 2008. The Pistons ain't won a playoff game since then. That was 2008. I was in kindergarten. The last time they won a playoff game. I graduated college in 2023. Come on, man. I graduated college 2023. What? I went my whole schooling without seeing the Pistons win a playoff game. And I went to a few of those playoff games. I went to 2016 versus the Cavs. I went to the 2019 versus the Bucks. You think I saw a win? No. So this is my problem with the Pistons. They ain't gave me nothing to root for the last how many years? 15? They ain't gave me nothing to root for. And then on top of that, y'all don't follow me on Twitter. Y'all don't follow me. My first Twitter name was RJ_Pistons fan. My Snapchat name back in the day was RJ_Pistons fan. I was the Pistons fan. I was the only Pistons fan in the world, it felt like at times. You know how many times I would wear Pistons gear? People laughing at me. I got season tickets the year Kane Cunningham missed the whole season. And y'all go get mad at me for saying I turned my back on the team. They don't follow me. What have they gave me? And I said it in my podcast episode a couple months ago. I said then, me and the Pistons going through a hard time. I said, we not getting a divorce because I still love them dearly. I don't want to leave. I don't care how bad they do me. I don't want to go. But at the end of the day, we in separate rooms right now. We in separate houses right now. Like, we not together, but the divorce papers not getting signed. I just couldn't do it. I said it then. I said they get back right, I could come back home. And you know what they've been doing? They got their stuff together. Sometimes when y'all in relationships, y'all know y'all act like y'all ain't never been with somebody who was tripping, and they had to get their stuff together. Y'all, hey, we all got screwed up family members. Y'all had that family member who couldn't get their stuff together. You had to just say, you know what? I'm gonna pray for you and wish you the best. And you let me know when you got your stuff together. You had to kind of let that family member go ahead, take care of their business before y'all could be cool again. Your friends who was out there doing stupid stuff, you had to let them go get their stuff together before y'all could be friends and hanging out like y'all did back in the day again. It happens. And that's no different than me and the Pistons. No different than me and the Pistons. And now y'all want to laugh at me and tease me because I said I'm finally home again? Man, ain't nobody a realer Pistons fan than me. And then, let me give y'all another thing. I'm going to talk about the Lions for a second because everybody's like, oh, nah, you all about the Lions. Hey. I've been down with the Lions. I've been down with all 4 Detroit sports teams. But as we all know, back in the day, it was Pistons, then Lions. Then in recent years, it most definitely went Lions then Pistons. But you know what the Lions did for me? They wanted me a playoff game. I got to see a playoff game. You know, I saw a playoff win. I definitely did. You know what else the Lions gave me? You know what else they gave me? A job. Did the Pistons give me? No, the Pistons ain't give me a job, but the Lions definitely did. So, yes, my loyalty is with the Lions. But that don't mean my loyalty ain't with the Pistons. For all my parents out there, y'all love all y'all kids the same. One might irritate you at a time, and the other one might be, you know, in your good graces. And it happens. That's what me and the Pistons and the Lions are going through, but the Pistons working their way back up. And so I'm going to always love the Pistons, no matter how bad they do me. Because even after we just split and they just don't follow me, I didn't go and following them on Twitter. I still watch the games. Hey, I went to opening night. I ain't going to lie to y'all. I ain't been to a game since. Should have been to more. I'll give you that. But hey, I went to a game. I said I wasn't going to go to any games this year. So I did good by going to one. And so I'm going to be honest with y'all. The Pistons make the playoffs, you better believe I'm going to be in the building. I don't care. I don't care what ticket prices are. Doggone it, I'm going to the playoffs. And you know what else? I dang near want to go to the All-Star game. Because if my boy Cade Cunningham makes it, which he should, I want to be there. And in fact, let's break this down for a minute. I was talking about Cade Cunningham. I've been talking about him the last few podcasts saying he ain't going to make the All-Star team. He ain't going to make the All-Star team. He should make the All-Star team. He ain't going to make it. I've finally come around to the point where I do think he gets in. The national media is starting to give me hope too. I mean, if you look at the stats, you know, numbers never lie. Among the Eastern Conference guards, Cade Cunningham is top 5 in points. He's top 3 in rebounds. He's top 3 in assists. He's top 3 in blocks. He's top 3 in double-doubles. He's first in triple-doubles. And now out of the Eastern Conference guards who are reserves, because Cade did not get in as a starter, they announced that already, Jalen Brunson, and I believe it was either LaMelo Ball or Damian Lillard, one or two. I want to say it's LaMelo Ball. they got in over Cade as a starter. Whatever. I figured those guys would low-key sneak in over him. But they're probably going to allow about 3 more guards in, right? If he's top 3 in all those things I just gave you, how is he not one of those 3 guards that get in? You tell me. You tell me. What's up, everybody? If you didn't know, I am a car salesman. I'm a car salesman at Gene Butman Ford. Yes, I sell cars. I sell new. I sell used. Whatever you are trying to hop in and drive off with, I will sell it to you. So come check me out, RJ at Gene Butman Ford. You can call me at 734-544-2870. You can email me, which is rjhunt@butmanford.com. We are located on Washington Avenue. We right near Eastern Michigan campus. So come check us out. Come check me out. And hey, touch down on your new car and drive like a superstar. So yeah, y'all got to see I'm a car salesman. Y'all got to see, what I do. So if you want to ride, come hit me up. Of course, Ford puts on those Lions trucks. And the Lions play games at Ford Field, and unfortunately, I was at Ford Field Saturday against those Commanders. I don't want to get too. You took a tough loss. You're losing coordinators. The loss, hey. Jared Goff is always bound to have those couple games this season where he just chokes. And I hate it came at the worst time possible. I don't put full responsibility on Jared Goff because it wasn't on him. There's a few things that went bad that game. However, if I had to pick, if we're, you remember in math, you did the circular pies. Take some water. But y'all know what I'm talking about? The circular pie. If I had to pick whose piece of the pie is the biggest for the reason we lost that game against the Commanders, I'm picking Jared Goff for the biggest piece of the pie. No doubt about it. You turned the ball over 4 times. 3 in the first half. I mean, the first was a fumble in the red zone. The second turnover was a pick 6. You threw a turnover before the half trying to get some points on the board, which, grand scheme of things, nothing harmful came out of it, but you could have possibly put some more points on the board to get closer into the game. So, depends on how you look at that one. And then you threw the fourth one to pretty much seal the deal. We're not winning this game when it was a long shot anyway. So that's Goff hurt me on that one. Jaden Daniels is the greatest rookie of all time. I'll say that much. Defense, I think they finally gave out. And shout out, my old math teacher, Mr. Mack. I want to shout out Mr. Mack because he pretty much said the most perfect thing when we were chopping it up on Twitter the other day talking about the Lions. He said, with the way the defense suffered with injuries this year, it was a shocker that they were able to hold up as long as they did. But in order for the Lions to win games, Goff was going to have to play perfect football. And he was like, and as we've seen it, Goff pretty much had a great season. But when it came down to it, I think the pressure got to him. He cracked. He didn't play perfect football. And the defense, the game, they put it on the defense, but the offense gave the defense more times to be on the field because they want to keep throwing the ball away. So, I think it comes down to Goff. But again, Goff had to play perfect. And the game he doesn't play perfect, we saw what happened because it threw off everything. We got so far behind, you can't run the ball no more. You got so many, your defense is just done at this point. And then, like I said, you're losing coordinators. I mean, Aaron Glenn, hey, shout out Aaron Glenn, but if you're playing against the Jets and you see Aaron Glenn crossing his legs, good luck to you. Maybe Ben Johnson will have Keenan Allen throwing passes when your team's down double digits in the second half of a football game. Maybe Keenan Allen will be throwing some footballs next year to Caleb Williams or something stupid. Let's talk about that for a second. Do you put that on Ben Johnson or is that on J-Mo? That pick. Ben Johnson all the way. Ben Johnson all the way, because J-Mo should not been in that situation. Let's start there. You didn't. Honestly, if I'm gonna pick a player to make that kind of play, respectfully speaking, it won't be J-Mo, because we haven't seen J-Mo do that yet. If anything, I'm throwing the ball to J-Mo because he's the fastest dude in the league. The reason why J-Mo gets the static though is because should he have probably took off a run? Probably. But again, he should have been in that position to begin with. If anything, you put David Montgomery or Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is known to throw passes from time to time in that situation. You don't make J-Mo do it, though. Ben Johnson, come on. And then everybody like, oh, why are y'all Lions fans not happy for Ben Johnson? He left for the division rival. And not only did he leave for the division rival, I promise you, if the Lions win the Super Bowl or something, or even go to the Super Bowl, nobody says anything. But it's the way a game that we were supposed to win, Ben Johnson was off. What was this dude thinking? It's like he wasn't prepared. It's like he wasn't focused. It almost looked like he went rogue and sabotaged the game. And a lot of people are saying that. And the way it looked, I can't disagree. I can't disagree, especially when you get hired by your division rivals team 2 days later and you got a good chunk of your coaching staff picked out. Man, what? That's why the NFL needs to take away interviewing when your team is in the playoffs if you're a coordinator. Get rid of that because I don't care what nobody say. That screwed up everything. I even saw it with the Matt Patricia when he came to the Lions when the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Because the Eagles beat the Patriots when Matt Patricia was the defensive coordinator. Come on, man. That stuff, they don't be focused, bro. They too busy thinking about the next thing. I don't care what nobody say. So I talked about Goff. What do you do with Goff? Do you keep Goff or do you pull a LA Rams to try to find a better quarterback and make this team go from can't get over the hump to boom, Super Bowl champs? Because if we look at the Rams, Goff got the Rams to the Super Bowl, but couldn't get them to win. They trade for a better quarterback in Stafford. Stafford gets into the Super Bowl first year. The Lions, not saying, hey, Goff is good, but there's definitely better quarterbacks out there. Goff is good, but Goff's not mobile. In this day and age, you do kind of need a mobile quarterback. You kind of do. In this day and age, you at least got to know how to get out of that pocket. Goff, anytime he get hit, he dang near fumbles every time. So, with Goff, he's good. At times, he's even great. But you know what Goff is not? He's not elite. He's not one of the elite quarterbacks. And yes, I know he's an MVP finalist. He did have a great season, but he's not elite. He's not a Lamar. He's not a Josh Allen. He's not a Mahomes. He's not those guys. Hey, you know what I said? Let's look at some quarterbacks who teams didn't make the playoffs this year or who might not be happy with their teams. I immediately thought about Joe Burrow. Would you take Joe Burrow on the Lions? Absolutely. Would you take Lamar Jackson on the Lions? Absolutely. Hot take, Baker Mayfield. That's a hot take. But you know why I was thinking Baker Mayfield? Do I think Goff is a better passer? Yeah, but Baker Mayfield knows how to get out of that pocket, though. He's shifty. He can run. Baker, my downside to Baker is he'll make a dumb throw at the worst time. But Baker knows how to get out. So that's what I said. That's more of a hot take one. But Lamar or Joe Burrow, absolutely. So I think that's what the Lions might have to do. But the last thing I want to bring up, the streets are saying the Lions window for a Super Bowl is closing. So is it closing or is it closed? No doubt I think it's closing. I don't think it's closed, though. And I got two reasons why I know it's closing. A, yes, you have all young players. You've extended a good chunk of them already. So your St. Browns, your Panay Sewells, even Goff, Montgomery got extended, right? But you know what the problem is? You're going to have to extend some other players. Hutch, Gibbs, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, J-Mo if you so choose to. You're going to start running the salary problems. You can't pay everybody. You're not going to be able to. It's going to be literally financially impossible to pay all your star players or all your key players, right? So you got about another year or two before you're going to start having to make decisions on who's staying, who's going. That's why I said the Lions legit have about another year or two before that Super Bowl window might just be closed for a minute. Now, another reason why I don't think it's closed yet, somebody made a great point. Saw it on social media. They talked about Michigan football team. What was it? The first year they made the playoff, they were the underdog. Lost to Georgia. The Lions, first year they made the playoffs. They got to the NFC Championship as an underdog. Lost to the 49ers. That second season, Michigan's supposed to win it all. They're favored. They played TCU, choked. The Lions, we're favored to win. We play the Commanders, choked. But in that third season, Michigan played Washington, won the national championship. Lions, history has a way of repeating itself, y'all. I truly think it's not over for the Lions, but something got to give. And they got to give fast because I just want to win one before I die. Thank you all for listening to today's episode. I hope you come back for more episodes. Remember to please subscribe on whatever platform you are watching or listening to Buffed Up Sports on. If you can, comment, leave a rating, leave a review, because I love to hear all the feedback. I mean, feedback is appreciated. So the comments, the reviews, the ratings are appreciated. Also, remember to send it to a friend, send it to 2 friends, send it to 3 friends if you love today's episode, all right? And even if you didn't, still send it to them to tell them how bad it is. I don't care what you do. Just send it to some folks, please. Please. But remember to go to buffedupsports.com. That is the official Buffed Up Sports website. There you will have the social media links that I'm on. You will also find the platforms that the podcast is available on. And you will find the ways to, support the channel on with the cha-ching-ching, if you know what I'm saying. So remember these words. Spread love. Keep your chest out. Hold your head up. Show off them pretty teeth. And don't y'all worry about a thing. Until next time, y'all be good out there. And God bless you all. Peace.